Hello clarinet students, we're going to quickly walk through the steps and the sequence for putting your clarinet together. First thing, take the reed out of the case, put the reed carefully into your mouth with the flat side down and the fragile tip in first. Careful not to break that tip. Now I can't talk. Now, you will leave your reed in your mouth for the rest of this sequence, but I can't talk with the reed in my mouth, so I'm going to set mine aside for the moment. While the reed is soaking in your mouth, very carefully, we're going to start from the bottom of the clarinet and build it up. So take out two pieces, the bell and then the next piece up here. When we put two pieces of our instrument together, we focus on grabbing as much of the black part, the plastic part of your clarinet, or perhaps it's wood, and not putting pressure on the metal work, the keys and the rods that are on there as much as possible. So we're going to twist and push, trying to use mostly grabbing onto the wood. Down here there's a nice open place for grabbing onto the plastic or the wood, and that's where I'm going to hold, push on the bell and put those together. The next big section comes on top of that, and there's even fewer places to grab where there are no keys. So I'm going to show you how to grab it with the keys. Two things we're keeping in mind here is not putting too much pressure on the keys that might bend them, and also keeping this little arm that sticks out at the end, keeping that elevated by pressing down the keys with this hand. So you can see I've got the piece laid in my hand like this. The lower part is towards me. The top part where the mouthpiece and barrel will go is away from me. And when I hold down on those keys, the little arm will go up. On this side, there's another little arm that's going to go under this arm. So I want the top arm to be up so it can come in very carefully above the lower arm. Now we twist a little bit, but we also watch that we're not going to twist all the way around. There's too many keys in the way for twisting all the way around. So we're going to be very careful here. This is the place where we could bend something that would make our clarinet not playable. So we're going to be very careful, but still with a firm grip, push and twist back and forth slowly until those arms settle just right, one above the other, and they're in place. Right here. Then this whole section that we've put together sets carefully aside. You can see I have my case here next to me on the piano bench, not on my lap, because it's very easy for a case on a lap to fall on the floor. We don't ever want our instrument to fall on the floor, so I'm going to place it gently on the floor and then it can't fall. It's as low as it can go. So it's going to rest carefully on the floor there. And the next step is to take the mouthpiece and the reed, and the mouthpiece and the barrel, the reed would still be in your mouth, right? And put those two together. Notice the ligature is not on the mouthpiece, just taking these two and get a good grip, one in each hand, and twist and push until they're firmly together. Now I'll take the ligature, putting the ligature onto the mouthpiece. You can see there's a wider side and a narrower side. Goes down like this. Not all ligatures are exactly the same shape, so you've got to trust your common sense. Put the wider side down and we'll have it be a little bit loose because we need to get the reed in there. And now back to where you were, the reed in your mouth. I grabbed the reed from the thick, hard part at the bottom and the sides, not at all from the thin tip. If we hold the reed down there, we will not break it. And we're going to try to get the reed into its place without ever touching the tip. And you can do it. It might take some practice to get there. I'm going to walk through it slowly and show you how I do it. I'm holding the barrel and the mouthpiece here. I can use my fingers and my thumb to move the ligature wherever I need to move it, up and down, left and right. And we're going to try to get it centered right in the middle, even on the top, even on the sides, beautifully placed reed onto the mouthpiece. Sliding the thick, strong part of the reed down under the ligature, I look closely, straight on. Notice I'm not over here or over here, but holding this straight up in front of me to look at the reed. And now, if I've got the ligature tight enough to at least hold it approximately, I can let go. If not, I'll make a little adjustment to bring it a little more secure. And now, using the sides and the bottom here, I can wiggle that reed back and forth and up and down until it's right in its place. Now wiggle it around a little bit. This can take practice. Don't worry if it takes you longer than it takes me right now. You'll get used to it and be very good at it pretty soon. We've got the thing centered now. I'm holding it still with the thumb down here to keep it in place. Without bumping it, I'm going to tighten the screws on my ligature, and these can be tightened quite a bit. You're not going to break anything or over tighten if you really twist these things good. They can take it. So they clamp that reed right onto there, and now we're done. You'll want to always be looking that your reed shows just the tiniest bit of a little bit of the black mouthpiece over the top, and that it's very well centered left to right. And then I go back for the rest of the clarinet, which has been carefully waiting on the floor, and these two go together. Again, I'm grabbing, using my strength here. I've got most of my hand down here where there's no keys to strain or bend, and pushing those gently together. We line up the reed with the octave key and the thumb rest, and we are done. Ready to play.